swings a day followed by like, ooh. Dry swings at night, call it night school. Dreams about to take off, call it flight school. Nickname Toolbox, cause I'm 5'2". Mr. Drop a Bomb, yeah, I'm Mr. Drop a Bomb. Hit the ball so far, collect the team mom. Knick-knack, paddywhack, Mr. Drop a Bomb. Going big fly, homie, sound the alarm. Knick-knack, paddywhack, Mr. Drop a Bomb. Old school flow, spinning big league dough like. Knick-knack, paddywhack, Mr. Drop a Bomb. Going big fly, homie, sound the alarm. Knick-knack, paddywhack, Mr. Drop a Bomb. Old school flow, spinning big league.
Welcome in, everybody, to the In Off the Bench podcast. My name is Jim Cross, and I'm joined, as always, by the amazing Ava Garza. Ava, you've never got to make the visit to Hattiesburg on an episode. How excited are you for this one?
I'm good. You know, I like talking to new schools, so I'm excited.
I will tell you, once upon a time, I made my first trip down to Hattiesburg. LSU was there for a regional. You know how hot Omaha was last year for us?
Yeah.
It was not this hot. I'm telling you right now, Pete Taylor Park was the hottest place I'd ever been in my life that day. And it made me not want to go back because on top of that, Southern Miss beat LSU. So it kind of really sets a bad situation for me wanting to go back. But, you know, all jokes aside, it's a great place, great ball players. We're going to get a story from one of the amazing ball players tonight. But before we do, we got to plug the sponsors, right? Chinook Seedery, 8 flavors, mild to wild, the best sunflower seeds in the game. Ava, you been chewing on your seeds?
Actually, yes. This is the first time I answered like that. The is it the ranch one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those a lot. I haven't got to do the whole like what is it?
The smoking toast.
Smoking toast. Haven't gotten to do that yet, but if I get a little creative whenever I go home this weekend, I'll let you know. I'll be at the A&M Vandy game.
But I will tell you this, our other sponsor, Jesus One Apparel, right now, Ava, Mike Trout just got done. I saw the video right before we got on. Mike Trout, the GOAT, MLB. Obviously, people will talk about Shohei Ohtani, but Mike Trout was the guy first. For the second time in a week, he is wearing his Jesus One official apparel. So shout out to Mike Trout. And then, of course, Old Dominic Distillery in the heart of downtown Memphis. Whiskey, vodka, bourbon, gin, they got it all. But, you know, enough of that. Drey, my man, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're ecstatic. You know, like she said, we're getting to talk to a new team for her, someone we haven't talked to in a long time. I mean, we're talking Colby Allen last year, so it's been a while. We're excited. The team is obviously in a great place, being ranked in the top 10, so a lot of good things to talk about. But I do want to break the ice before we get into all this. You know, March Madness is going on, which I hate because right now it's kind of taken away from college baseball. But as a collegiate athlete yourself, I'm sure you can appreciate the tournament, the drive. Have you been watching, and do you have a team you're rooting for?
I have been watching. I watch the games where I have a bracket or whatever, and all the games that I have a team going still, I watch, and I'm cheering them on hard. It doesn't really. I had Duke winning it all, so I'm pretty upset about how that game finished. But you know, it's all in good fun. So we have like a group or whatever, and we're just doing it for fun. And I think I'm not winning the group right now, so. It's part of it.
The fun fact for us is we do college basketball the least of all the college sports, and we only had one guest on this year, and Jackson Francois from Arizona. So we have a rooting interest. They're one of the Final Four teams, so maybe we can say we had one and only college basketball guest, and it was the right one. So we got our fingers crossed, but that Michigan team sure looks pretty good.
Yeah, Michigan does look really good.
Drey, I know your heart dropped whenever you saw that buzzer beater. That was a tough watch.
It was hard. I had him winning the whole thing, and I was like, "Are you serious?" Like
watching
but that's March Madness summed up in one play, though. That's everything.
Yeah, the guy didn't even put his hands up. I was like, tough watch. I haven't seen it on Instagram, and I was like, well, Drey, now that we got that out of the way, where are you from?
I am from Holtville, Alabama. It's a small town north of Montgomery, Alabama, and it doesn't have a traffic light. Nobody really knows where it's at, but it's a small town, and I love it. I love being from a small town.
So what's one thing I absolutely have to do if I go there? Because you're saying that there's not much, but I know you did something.
There's not. I mean, I would say probably eat at the only restaurant there, and it's a Mexican restaurant. It's called El Patron. I guess you got to go there.
Why
So
why
who
is it when there's only one small restaurant? Like I picture it
it's
being
always
some
Mexican
mom and
food.
pop place, but it's always a Mexican restaurant. Why? Is
It
it
Always
always
a Mexican restaurant. I don't know why. It's always Mexican anywhere you go.
well, then what's the go-to menu item for you? We got to get something out of the city.
Me?
something.
Got it. Probably the quesadilla. I mean, classic chicken quesadilla. They make a good one. And me and my buddies, we go there. If we're going to eat somewhere, it's got to be there, unless we go out of town. So me and my buddies will eat there for lunch while I'm home for summer or Christmas break. And I really enjoy the food. A lot of my friends don't, but I actually really like it. But it's just a place where we go and talk and hang out for a while.
Hey, but this one will be an interesting one because I didn't tell you yet, but we had some listeners who commented last week and said it'd be cool if we did a food tour of all the places that all our guests have been saying throughout the
Ooh, I
year.
love
So
that.
this would be an interesting one because we have to find it, right? He's making it sound like we're really gonna journey off to find this place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hard find.
All right. Well, we'll add that to the bucket list. You might even put it at the top if you're saying that it's a good place to hang out. But who was your favorite athlete growing up?
Y'all were talking about Mike Trout. Mike Trout. I thought Mike Trout. I still think Mike Trout's the best baseball player to ever play. I mean, he's growing up. I was an Angels fan just because of him. I thought he was awesome, obviously because he was the best player. But I think he's obviously a great human being as well. So seeing stuff that people would say about him, not as much on the field, but off the field as well, is what really drove me to really like him and really like his game.
It really shows how baseball is different than other sport, right? Because the best in like basketball, for instance, whether you're a LeBron, Kobe, or Jordan guy, like one guy can lead you to a championship. Mike Trout, even in all his best years, they didn't come close, because one guy can't win it in baseball, just can't.
That's right. It's completely different than really everything else.
So, a lot of success and accolades in high school. So, what made Southern miss the landing spot for you?
So I committed the fall before my sophomore year of high school, or during the fall of my sophomore year of high school. So before I even played my sophomore year of high school baseball, my whole recruiting process was pitching. But everyone wanted me to pitch, and I didn't want to pitch. And I knew I wanted to hit. At the time, I was probably 6'2", 165 pounds. I was tall and skinny, but I threw it relatively hard or whatever. So a lot of people wanted me to pitch, and I didn't want to. And I was talking to a bunch of schools and whatever, but Southern Miss offered me as a two-way before all the rules where you had to be a junior and stuff like that. They offered me as a two-way, so to pitch and hit, and I was like, and I ended up researching them. I didn't know what Southern Miss was before I committed. Being from Central Alabama, I was like, I didn't really know, and then I looked it up, and I was like, they're obviously like historical, great program, like nine straight 41 seasons. Went to Omaha in 09, hosted a regional last year.
If I'm timelining this thing, this would be about the time that they knocked LSU out in the postseason.
Yeah, so I was actually at that game too. That was the year I committed.
Oh, it wasn't crazy, right? It was hot, right?
No, it was so hot. I remember. But yeah, that they offered me as a 2A, and I committed. Oh, I think it was like 3 days later. So it was the place where I wanted to be, and I'm grateful I chose this place.
So tell me about Hattiesburg, because I've never been there, like Jim has. So what's one place I need to eat in Hattiesburg? And I'm begging you, please don't tell me Mexican food again, because I'm like a little weird about that.
So it's a lot different being from like where I'm from, coming to Hattiesburg. It's not like a huge town, but it's a good sized town. I would say the place you got to go. There's this place called Glory Bound. It's in Hattiesburg, and I think it's also in like Gulfport. It's Greek food, so you get like gyros and but like it's like I don't know if hummus is like Mediterranean exactly, but that's the first place I've seen with hummus. But like I usually get a gyro, and they have hummus, and they have a bunch of weird things that you don't really see anywhere else. So I would say go there, and I really like their food. So I would say Glory Bound.
So Glory
I don't think
Bound,
we've
and of
heard
course
Greek
a baseball game. If you go there, obviously baseball games at the top of things you got to do in Hattiesburg.
That's number one for sure.
All right, so let's get into the baseball stuff. Pretty solid freshman year, 50 starts over at third base. How did you feel about your freshman season?
I thought it was good. It was a good starting point. coming into college, you don't really know what to expect. And, you're kind of just grateful for any opportunity that you get. So I was blessed enough to get the opening day start as a freshman after a good fall and spring. And, kind of just taking it all in. Before I've not played in front of more than probably at the most 200 fans. So opening day, I think there was like 5,500 people there. So it's definitely a lot different. And, just being grateful for the opportunities that I was given. It was an up and down season. We obviously ended up hosting a super regional, but we kind of started slow. I played some good ball at times. I played some bad ball at times. It's kind of just par for the course, but it was a good starting point, and I'm grateful for the season that I had, and I think it was a good starting point for my college career.
What would you say the one thing was the biggest takeaway? What did you learn the most from last year?
It's hard, coming from high school. You're kind of like, I'm not trying to sound like cocky or anything, but like you're kind of just better than everyone else. Like, and that sounds awful, but that's just it. That's just how it is. And you come to college, and everyone was their best player from their high school. So, you got to come in and work hard every day. I think that's kind of what differentiates players in college. Being able to play and kind of be the best player you can be is who comes in and who is locked in every day and who grinds the most and the best.
Yeah, I
So
mean, to your point, I used to read like the high school accolade stuff when we did this show, and Ava will tell you we stopped because like everybody's was just a ridiculously long list because, like you said, they're all the best players, all the top 10, 20 players from whatever state. And it was like, that's not even, doesn't mean anything. Like you said, when you get to the college, everybody's the best player where they come from, and everybody's got championships or we're regional player of the year, whatever the case. So yeah, that doesn't mean as much with the caliber of guys we seem to be interviewing on a regular basis. But
that's right.
To start this year, man, y'all have some huge wins. You have some electric moments. Obviously, you see it in the intro. The stats aren't exactly where I'm sure you'd like them to be, but let's talk about the highlights of it first. You see the moment against UCSB, you see the moment against Mississippi State, hitting a 450-foot nuke. Like, just talk about how much fun it's been so far at the start of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we started the season off hot, and we knew coming into the season that we were really challenging ourselves early, and that we were going to have to come in and be ready to go from day one. Coming from we faced a first rounder opening day, and then a guy that's probably going to go in the first or second round day two. So kind of just being for us to be able to kind of be ready to go from the get-go kind of shows what this team's capable of doing. And it was hard, and right, to be honest, right now we're not playing our best ball. I'm not playing my best ball, but being able to kind of get out of that is what's going to be the real tell of how far this team's going to be able to go. So we started the season off great, and right now we're in kind of a lull, but I think once we get out of this lull and kind of catch momentum, I think we could be pretty dangerous.
Well, I think y'all are in a good spot simply because, like you said, you're in the 8th spot and you're not even playing your best ball. And I think if anybody learned anything the last 2 weeks in college baseball, like I think the field is more open than ever, which I love, right? Like it's not fun when it's just a couple teams that you feel like are definitely going to run away with it. You look at the field, you look at the top 25, like it's ever changing. Week to week, teams are beating up on each other. And so it's going to be, like you said, who's playing their best ball when it matters most. But right now, y'all are 21-7. Overall ranked number 8 in the country. First, I'll ask about you individually, then ask about the team. I was talking about the batting average. What do you got to do to get that back up to where it's accustomed to being?
Kind of just sorry, I had to move. My phone was about to die. I didn't realize. I was like, what's going on? But kind of just trusting the plan that the coaches give me and trusting in my ability. I'm good enough, and I know that I'm good enough. Don't lack in confidence, and kind of just keep pushing. You take good swings, you line out. It's kind of part of it, and then you go through slumps or whatever. It's about being mentally strong and being able to kind of get through hard times like that for not only yourself but the team, and kind of just forget about stats and kind of just come through in moments where it's important for you to come up big, and then you'll see where you're at in the end of the year.
Yeah, and so for the team, what is coach saying? What are you guys saying, to each other? to not get complacent, right? Like number 8 is great and all, but we want to be a team that's a host at the end of this thing, a national host. How do you keep your foot on the pedal and not settle for where you're at right now?
It's not taking a game for granted, not taking a day for granted. Kind of playing. We always talk about playing a nameless and faceless opponent, and kind of just showing up every day with the same energy and the same intensity, no matter who we're playing. So, and we don't talk about rankings. We don't talk about any of that during like in season or anything like that. We just talk about the next game ahead. We always talk about the most important game is the next game. So kind of just showing up every day with the same intensity, working hard, and then on game days playing the nameless and faceless opponent, and bringing energy and winning that ball game.
I like it.
All right, talking baseball is fun and all of that, but now like I think that I have the most important questions because talk to us about your walk-up song. What is it and what made you choose that song?
So my walk-up song is Still Drey by Dr. Drey, and I think it's pretty telling why. But yeah, I didn't do that for a long time, and I just kind of didn't want to do it. I kind of want to do my own thing, but I think it kind of came to a point this year where I was like, I mean, I got to do it eventually, and I don't know how long I'm gonna stick with it. I could stop this year, or I could use it the rest of my career. I don't know, but
Depends
yeah,
on how you play, right?
of course, it can't be my fault. It's got to be the walk-up song. So, yeah, just it's still Drey, and I think it's pretty awesome. It's not only does it go with my name and whatever, but it's also like I enjoy the vibe that it gives me walking up to the plate. So,
can you get down with that, Ava? Because Ava's like, if you're not doing a song that's getting the crowd into it, what are we doing here? Like,
I'm actually a fan, and I like that it goes with your name. Like that's funny. Like, so I can get behind that.
I mean,
still beating
him
out
and
LSU,
Rooster,
by
right?
the way.
Him and Rooster got the songs that go with their name.
Yeah, lucky guys, man. Still beating LSU out in that way. But Southern Miss has a lot of uniforms to choose from. Which one is your personal favorite?
I love our black uniform. I think it looks sick, and I think it also feels great. So our combo that we use with it, we either go pin pants or gray pants. Either one's fine with me, to be honest. On the road, we wear gray, and at home, we wear pins. But yeah, the gray jersey with either one of those pants, I think looks awesome. But our coach doesn't think so all the time, so we don't wear it a whole lot. But I think that's most of the guys' favorites.
My favorite's got to be as a veteran. Like I like that one that you said normally the most, but that Camp Shelby uniform. As a matter of fact, I meant to have it, but Ava can't beat that.
I like that.
Yeah, those are sick. We wore those Saturday. Yeah, they're awesome.
Did you win in them? Because that's the problem. If they're not a uniform you win in, then as good as it looks, it may still have to sit on the shelf.
That's right. It may get. Well, it's getting hung up anyway. We wear those once a year, but I mean, if you wear them once a year, you got to win in them. It's the same thing with the parrot heads. We won in those this year. So
yeah, in 2024, Tennessee, people thought they were wearing the black just because they were their favorite, but they actually kept wearing the black just because they weren't losing in them, and they ended up not losing in them the whole postseason when they wore them. So yeah, if a uniform's working for you, you just got to keep riding with it.
Oh, 100%. And that's our coaches like to do that too. If we get hot in a jersey, like last year we got hot in the gold tops. Oh, we wore them, I don't know how many games in a row. Probably it may have been 10, 15 games.
Washing is optional.
Yes. When you're winning, it doesn't really matter.
That is so gross. Okay.
Superstitions in baseball thing. You don't even want to know what half these guys do. They don't watch a lot of things. Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna close my eyes and ears and pretend I didn't hear that. But talk about your faith and how it's helped you playing the game of baseball.
Yeah, kind of like a calm thing, I would say. Just having faith and knowing that there's a plan, and that can kind of soothe you at times, even in like the biggest moments. Just being grateful for the opportunities that you were blessed with that opportunity. So just being grateful for everything that you're blessed with, because it could all be taken away or you could not have experienced it at all. So just kind of being grateful and putting trust in God, and kind of just like I said, it brings a calmness and kind of a relaxation, because there's a plan, and whatever you do, it's not gonna it's not going to ruin God's plan. So kind of just relaxing and being grateful.
Yeah, I mean, I get asked constantly why, because I work for Jesus One Apparel also, and why it's so many baseball teams are getting outfitted with the shirt and being bold in their faith. And that's like, because it's a game of failure, because it has its ups and downs. I think it's a game where you learn to have that humility, right? To lean on a higher power, because times are going to inevitably get hard. And so I love to see the baseball players just being more and more open in their faith. Obviously, on your Instagram handle, it's got the cross. So real cool just to see you be like that. Did you get a shirt from Colby last year?
I did. I bought one. It was
There we
awesome.
go.
I got it. I was gonna wear it, but I actually wore it to the game the other day, I believe. So it's dirty. So I was gonna wear it. See, I do wash my clothes,
There you go. He
but
passes.
yeah,
Thank you for
But
sharing.
no, before we let you get out of here, we play a game with every guest. You actually get off the hook. We're just going to do this or that instead of blind rankings with you. But you get two options. You choose one or the other. Can't say neither. Can't say both. Down to play?
let's do it.
All right. So ironically, Mexican food ended up being the topic, Ava. Had no clue that would happen. But hard or soft tacos?
Soft
Chicken or beef?
chicken.
All right. So soft chicken tacos is the way to go. If you're going out with the boys, would you rather go play golf or would you rather go bowling?
Oh, golf.
Are you good at golf?
No, I'm not.
No,
It's a great time though.
See, I would rather bowl just because I'm so bad at golf. That's just the way of it. I can't be that bad at something around my friends. It's just I'm gonna break rules.
That is fair. I've learned some humility with that.
All right, so maybe my favorite question on here, I had to put it on here. More fun beating Ole Miss or beating Mississippi State?
The smile.
I'm gonna go with Ole Miss because I know more people on Ole Miss and I have a couple buddies over there. So I'm gonna say Ole Miss.
And you still got a chance in Pearl for the sweep
right.
of Ole Miss. You're
That's
not even
right.
done with them yet. I asked you about the Final Four earlier. If you had to actually pick one, Illinois, Michigan, Arizona, UConn, who you taking?
I got to go UConn. They beat my dogs. So
there you go. All right, my question that is probably to me usually the hardest. Would you rather go to a sporting event? And let me be clear: any sporting event, anywhere you want to go to, or a concert and any artist anywhere? Which one are you choosing?
Sporting event. Easy.
Oh, and no hesitation. Must not be on the music.
I love music. I'm not a big it's loud, it's flashing lights. That's not me. That's not how I like to.
Coming from a guy who plays at a place that when he hits a home run, horns go off and the lights are blinking and flashing. Like
it's different when it's like a cool moment. In the concert, I'm just kind of like I got a headache after about 30 minutes.
So if you can go to any sporting event, where are you going to?
I'm probably oh man. I mean, it's got to be like a World Series game, and it's got to be.
I mean, we had that talk last week with our guests. Like baseball players, it feels like how can you not say Game 7 of the World Series?
It's got to be Game 7 of the World Series, and I got to say Atlanta, right? Like I'm a Braves fan. I knew I said I was a Angels fan. I'm really just Mike Trout fan, but. I mean, if Mike Trout went to let's do that. The Angels. I go to Anaheim. I watch Game 7 of the World Series, and Mike Trout wins a World Series. I'll say that.
So I can get down with that because I was asked on our pro show the other day who my allegiance was with because we have so many guys who are now actually on MLB rosters because we started this 6 years ago now, and it's came down to 4 teams. Now Atlanta only has 1 on the roster, but we started this show. First season, Austin Riley was a 2-time guest because he's from right down the street. So obviously a big Austin Riley guy. And then we actually have 5 guys on the Angels. So those are 2 teams I'm rolling with. So I like your answer. If we can have that, obviously the Angels might be a stretch. They haven't been close in a long time, but
nowhere
the Braves
close.
are definitely a team that can do it. They just got to stay healthy, man. They're injured all the time.
They're so talented. I got Ronald Acuna on my fantasy team, so hopefully he has a good year.
And Chris Sale is still, man, dealing. It feels like he's 100 years old. Feels like he's been around forever, but he's still doing his thing.
Yeah.
All right. The hardest question we have on here. Would you rather do 5 years in prison or 10 years in a coma?
Oh, 5 years in prison. So I would be 30 when I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
Or 5 years in prison. I'm gonna go 5 years in prison because I would rather like be there, like, and you get out earlier. But I
I've
would
said
rather
that
like be like mentally there.
I've said that to Daniel a bunch of times because he answers from our age perspective, but I tell him you guys will be exactly what you said. You said the first thing I would say, I'll be like 30 when I woke up, like all my best years are gone behind me. And like you said, you can figure it out. And he's like, I don't want nothing to do with prison. I mean, both answers suck, but if you got to pick one or the other, like you said, half the time, try to figure it out. But there's one more hard question I got for you. It may not be hard for you. Would you rather win a national championship or be the number one pick in the MLB draft?
Oh man. Can you be both at one?
Mm-mm.
Like you're just not picked at all if you're
Well, I mean, in theory, you could be number two, but I mean,
okay.
it's really that's really kind of cheating the question. It's basically, would you rather make $10 million and be the number one guy, or fall down to whatever round?
I would say with the group of guys we have this year, I'm gonna go win the national championship and then fall to whatever round I am.
It's the right answer because Paul Skeens came on here and said the answer before he won, after he won the Natty, before he was the number one pick, and then said it again after he's the number one pick. Which, Ava, I almost forgot to bring something up. Talking about former guests on the Jailer Coma, when I was running through clips because I was trying to pull a best of because our 6-year anniversary will be next week. Drey, I asked Tony Vitello when we had him on the show the Jailer Coma question, and he was so mad at himself because he said he saw an article on it the week before and he almost read it. And he would have been mentally prepared for this question. And he's like, now I have no idea. And so he's like, and so then he gives me the answer that, some may expect because it was Tony Vitello, but I didn't. He was like, I guess I'm going to do like some of these guys do like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm going to go into jail, lift some weights, get in some fights, smoke some cigarettes. And I was like, oh my God, coach. But yeah, he was mad at himself for not reading the article and get some research in. Now, maybe after all these years, I should look it up and see what actually is the beneficial one. But I prefer to just do neither. I prefer the concert or sporting event. Let's just stay there.
Yeah, I like that one better.
But you're off the hot seat, Ava. I think I did him a service. But you know what? We did the blind rankings the other day. Who was our last guest that just knocked it out of the park? I don't know what mine playing.
Oh,
it was Walker. Duh.
It was Walker. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, maybe I should have made it harder for Drey.
I guess we'll just have to bring him back on the show.
That's right. I'll just come back.
I just want to know, Ava, I'm putting you on the spot right here on the show. Oh, you get to this or that. So you really liked Walker and the guys, but Drey's a good guy. Like they do have to play each other again. Who we rooting for?
Stop putting me on the hot seat.
That's why I like this.
Ava, who are you cheering for?
You think that's bad? Nico is gonna ask you who you're rooting for because I tagged you on purpose.
Hey, who are you rooting for?
Wait, for Vandy or A&M? Is that the question?
Look, she's got two different situations. She's going this weekend. She's going to Vandy and A&M, and we got a bunch of guests on both sides.
I'm gonna say for Vandy A&M, I think that Nico's a great guy. I really hope that he does amazing, and I know that you're a big Grant Krovac fan, so I'm gonna pray for him too. But I really do want Vandy to win because we've just had so many guests on, and I think their uniforms are so like chef's kiss amazing. I'll go Southern Miss because why not?
Why not?
It's like I have this like power because I've been like picking them, and so I'm gonna say Southern Miss, and I'm gonna like give you good juju. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. We're gonna win.
Ole Miss was the only one you did miss. I mean, you got the rest.
I did. Like I feel like pretty good about that. Plus, I like the color scheme, and I even looked at all the uniforms, and I think that you picked the right uniform for your favorite.
I did.
So
I did.
Yeah. Good picks.
Yeah,
good picks.
They're my favorite.
Solid on the walk-up song, solid on the uniform. You give them an A+ on all this?
Yeah. I would give it like an A. Yeah.
She was unsure about that. She didn't.
I did say A+. I said A. Like the uniforms are good. I just love Vandy. It's like they're just so pretty to look at.
I interestingly enough, and maybe it's the veteran in me in the red, white, and blue. And Ole Miss this weekend, they did it. They went with the blue first, and then they went the white. Red, then the white on the end. Anyway, I love their uniforms, but that's just because I'm all about red, white, and blue.
We didn't include Southern.
We're both LSU people, and we wish LSU had some more alternate fun to them. They're just they're basic. They're purple and gold, and that's it.
Did we include Southern Miss on my uniform rankings? I almost said
Mm-mm.
outfit. My little outfit ranking.
I went with the teams that finished in the top 8 on their last year's college baseball hub for you to pick from.
After the season we do and we re-rank, we'll make sure that we include Southern Miss because I
Yeah.
promise you it's probably going to be up there. But before we close this thing out, is there anything that you want to plug or promote?
No. God bless. That's all I got.
You got
All
no
right,
apparel or nothing?
Any apparel? Oh no,
Yeah.
nothing like that. Just playing baseball, having fun.
Just playing baseball. Go out,
All
check out. If you go out to Southern Miss, you got to check out the Roofs. That's where it's at.
That's right. You got to go to the Roofs. That's awesome.
Perfect. Well, we want to thank you for joining us. If you like hearing his story or you just like hearing us average Joes, and as DB likes to say, Jills talk X's and O's, please like and share on Facebook, retweet on Twitter, watch and subscribe on YouTube, head on over to Instagram and give us a follow. Until the next time, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.